Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to gameplay footage of Helldivers 2. I'm the Ninja Stalker. I just made a video, literally about what I'm just going to go over, but the problem was my microphone was off, so there was a lot of obvious moments that I was talking, and if you were watching a video, you'd be like, what is happening? He's just standing still. What the hell is this? Let me double check. Yes, recorder, microphone is going. Let me really double check here. Because sometimes, motherfuck, settings, audio, microphone, surefire, hell yeah, all right. Okay, crisis averted, there we are. Anyways, I think I'm going to start doing these videos based on, like, new Warbonds and how to use them, or how the average Joe, like myself, can use these things, or would be using these things. So, let's go ahead and show you the new Warbond. It is the Helldivers Legendary Warbond with Warhammer 40k. Costs $1,500. I don't know if that's a normal price for Warbonds. I thought it was like $1,000 or $1,200 that's normal. This is $1,500. Whatever. I paid it. Blah, blah, blah. Let's move forward. 3 pages worth. Okay, cool. Check it out. This first page, you have this medium, I think it's medium armor for the first one you can get. Is the sharpshooter, 100 damage or 100 armor rating, true grit passive. Cool. I'm not a fan of medium or light armor. If I'm gonna use medium armor, it needs to look really, really, really good, and this doesn't. It's pretty. I don't want to say bland, because the next armor I'm going to show you is even more bland. So it is what it is. And I've not really played Warhammer 40k. I mean, like, there was one that I have on the computer that I played many years ago, and then there's one that I bought recently with my wife so that we can try and play the game. But anytime we play the game together, someone else can also join in, and I fucking hate that. I wish it was like a closed lobby. Anyways, here's the other thing you can get. This weapon's pretty good. Medium armor penetration, 275 damage with 12 round capacity for the magazine, and it's got a 12 times scope. I like it, but I think it's better suited for other fights, like against the automatons, for example. Anything fast, this is not good, and I'll explain that a little bit later, considering the new set of bad guys we're going to be fighting. Here's the helmet. Whatever, it goes with the armor. It doesn't offer any bonuses, so I don't care. Here's the cape. Again, it's a cape. I don't give two shits. It doesn't offer any bonuses. And then here's the other shit. Whatever, right? Next page. This is what I was talking about, it being bland. This is heavy armor, 150. It does true grit as well, but look at the way it looks. Like, I like that it looks metal. That's pretty cool. You look pretty armored up, but there's something very bland about it, especially when you compare this to the Entrenched Warfare in-store armor you can buy. That one looks pretty stellar and dope as shit. This one, I don't know. Not only that, this guy, he's missing a leg. They replaced it with like a robotic leg, which I'm not a fan of. Whatever, right? There's a pistol, though. Heavy armor, penetration, and explosive, and one-handed. 6-round capacity, though. However, think of this as a very powerful grenade launcher that maybe does as much damage as most other grenade launchers, if not a little less, but it is heavy armor pen. This pistol will come in help later on, and I'll explain to you how. Meltapine, I haven't got that, but it's anti-tank, 2,000 damage. Okay, I don't know how many, because I haven't bought it yet, that you can carry. Probably 2, to be honest. If you carry more than 2, I'm going to be very excited for that. Here's the helmet. I like the way this helmet looks compared to the other one, simply because of the color blue. Blue is my favorite color. The darker the blue, the better. This one looks okay, but I think, I don't know, there's like too much going on with it. And the fact that it is tainted by the fact that it goes with this medium armor, I'm like, ew, gross. This one, it's blue, and it looks cool to me just because of that, and it doesn't have a whole lot going on, so whatever. Here's a cape. I don't give two shits. Here's all the other stuff. Page 3, check it out. You get all this other stuff. This is what probably matters to a lot of people, is the melted gun, support weapon, anti-tank, charge up. Obviously, I don't have page 3 yet. I literally just bought this helmet before I started this, and you're probably like, why didn't you just save to get the Melt-A-Mine? Well, fuck you. That's why. This is my game. I do what I want. Anyways, so there's that. There's new bad guys. The Illuminate. They have at least 2 bad guys I ran into. One of them, my wife called it looking like Slender Man, and he actually does look like Slender Man. He looks like Slender Man that got beefed up with Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. That's what he looks like. He looks like Slender Man and Silent Hill Pyramid Head had sex, and there's their offspring child. And you'll see why, the way he looks and what he has. Not only that, he also reminds me of Dark Souls 3, the evangelists, those fat women that are kind of religious, and they walk around with the little bell things, and they laugh. Well, this creature laughs in the game too. He laughs when he kills you, and it's crazy. Anyways, you'll see how tanky they are, because they have a high health pool. They will just shrug off hits, and they'll just stand there taking the hits, looking like, what's his name from The Godfather when he died at the bridge, that one dude where he got shot the fuck up. Huh? Sonny, yeah. Look like him, but this guy is actually tanking it. He's like, oh, that tickles. I can show you a very fast way to kill that guy. If you haven't figured it out, I will show you a fast way how to kill that guy, and it makes life immensely easier. And then there's another bad guy. It looks like Scyther and Kabutops from Pokemon and Dead Space. Those creatures from Dead Space had like sex, and there's their offspring baby. I don't like those guys. If you hated the zombie voteless, if you hated those guys because of how their ankle-biting fucking bitch-made ways, little weak fuck from the clubs, if you hate them, you're going to hate these guys because they're faster, they jump farther, they jump higher, and almost one hit from them, from their little Scyther, Kabutops, Dead Space fucking hands of theirs, can kill you even if you have heavy armor. I'll show you a weapon to use against those. Now, you've seen the weapons. Let me explain to you the weapon to use against those guys right now. This shotgun. This is all you need. Just have this shotgun and just fucking shred them away. You can use other shotguns. Fire would be helpful. But you need a fast-hitting, hard-hitting shotgun. Because just like the Dead Space creatures, you take these guys' head off, they're still going to get up, and they're still going to run at you and attack you. They might not know exactly where you are, because just like the Dead Space creatures, they're just going to go in a general direction and swing. That's what these guys do. You need to shoot them until they're down. Take their limbs off. All their limbs. Don't just aim for headshots. As for armor that I'm using, there's this armor. This was the canceled Warbond. For whatever reason, Arrowhead canceled. And this was the reward campaign armor that you get for the last campaign. So if you weren't a part of that, sorry, you're not getting this. This armor is pretty cool, but it is very specific. So you might not always use this everywhere you go unless you tailor your gameplay style to the armor, which I would not recommend unless you're good at what you're about to do. Now, let me show you what it does for explaining about what you're going to have to do. This is the KDM Outrider armor. I like the way it looks. There's metal where I want it, and then there's also supporting leather strapped armor in areas. I think that's pretty cool. You got a little freaking pouch over here. You got shotgun shells over here. I think it looks pretty awesome. This is a pretty nice looking armor. I don't know why it was canceled, but it was canceled. Anyways, as you can read, ruggedized, extended operation beyond which reach, pave, logistics. You can read the rest. I don't want to fucking read. Kinetic displacement mitigation. This is what the armor passive has. Provides 50% damage resistance to fire. Okay, cool. Again, that's specific to maps you play on, or if you use fire, whether via stratagems or weapon or support weapon. So it's kind of specific. It's not like you use it all the time. Gives a wearer 50% chance to avoid grievous limb injury. Again, that's kind of specific. Not every bad guy you run into is going to do a grievous damage to you. So it's kind of specific. And then the next one, reduces damage taken from impact and collisions. Again, that's also specific. Not all the time are you falling from high heights. Not all the time are you dolphin diving off of a fucking ledge and you're just going into oblivion. Not all the time is there an explosion that causes you to fly back and ragdoll and hitting fucking buildings and shit on the way down. I'm using this armor right now, though, because the current maps that I'm playing on has something going on that this armor actually benefits to help you. There are tornadoes. There are active tornadoes on this map. You can actually see funnels and tornadoes and twisters going on. If you happen to get near those on the ground, it will suck you up and it'll spin you around, including the bad guys and other friendlies, and you'll hit everybody, you'll hit everything, you'll hit buildings, you'll hit anything. If whatever you hit does not hold you down, so like, for example, you hit a corner of a building and you're spinning in the same direction that the tornado is going, the building could catch you, you'll fall, you'll take damage, and then that's it. Just run away from the tornado. If, however, the tornado takes you and it hits you on things, but the tornado is still in the area, it can still pick you up, chances are you're going to die. Because I've lived against one of these tornadoes. I've died against one of these tornadoes. And I've seen good guys and bad guys get sucked up by these things, and they die just 100%. I've seen body parts everywhere, blood, guts, spit, and ass everywhere. It's crazy and awesome. This armor has reduced damage from impact and collisions by 30%. This helps with those tornadoes. Again, specific to the maps or specific to the location, gameplay style, but this armor so far is good for something like this. Also, I've tried to use fire, so I'm like, all right, fire's pretty good against these Illuminate zombies and the weird Dead Space fucking creatures. Fire's good. I use the cremator. Takes them out. Use that. There you go. 50%. But again, I'm tailoring my gameplay style to help with the armor, which I really shouldn't be doing. I should have armor that just always does its job. For example, this one, the cinder block, I really like using this. Why? Because it increases speed of your primary weapon by 30%, and you get an increase of ammo by 20%. This gets used all the fucking time. That's always there. The bulwark, you get 50% resistance to damage explosives. I use a lot of explosives. Explosives gets used by the bad guys. It's not really specific. There's always going to be explosions. I mean, there's always going to be stratagems that use explosives. There's always going to be grenades tossed around. You name it. And then not only that, I get increased armor. 180 out of the max 200 that you can get. This will always be used. This one is kind of specific. This one's kind of specific. The True Grit one, wherever that one went. Again. Where are you, you son of a bitch? You're around here. There you are. This one, excuse me, increases reload speed of support weapons by 30%. You do notice it. You do notice that increase of 30%. Recoilless rifle, you reload that shit faster. It's pretty nice. Slightly increases weapon ergonomics. You kind of notice your weapon swings a little bit faster whenever you're aiming, but it's whatever. But you do notice the reload speed of support weapons. This armor, I would probably say, is good against maybe the automatons, where you can have a little breather from the bad guys at a distance and reloading your shit faster. So, like, if you're on a big open map and you could clearly see the automaton factories and you have your recoilless, dude, you could set this up, reload, shoot, and then if there's a convoy on the way, you rest easy having this and shoot those down. Vox engines all over the place, shoot those down with this is pretty nice for those, at least on like Suicide Mission and below. I don't know about above Suicide Mission. We're gonna use this one. And as for the helmet, we're gonna stay with this. Another helmet that you can use with this armor that looks pretty good is, where are you at? This one. This one. Because you have the brown beret. I think it matches up. This is the other KDM Outrider helmet. I like the way it looks from the front. From the front, this looks very Fallout, Mad Maxy. It looks pretty cool. This is what I don't like. I told my wife that this thing looks like half of a GIMP helmet because look at that. Like, looks like GIMPs wear that shit. So I didn't really like it. But from the front, this looks like Fallout, Mad Max. It looks pretty cool. Considering that this is a game where you watch your character third person from behind, get used to seeing that. And to me, I don't like that. That looks weird. So we're going to stay with this helmet. We're going to go with this armor. As for weapons, we're going to go with this shotgun because it's good against those little creatures on the ground. Secondary, we're going to test out this pistol, and I'm going to show you why this pistol's pretty good against those Slenderman Pyramid Head hybrids. This is real good against them. If you haven't figured it out, I'm going to show you, and it's going to save you a world of trouble because those things are very tanky. They have a high amount of health, but there is a way you can kill them in at least 2 to 4, let's just say 4 shots. 4 shots total. 4 shots total. And it depends on the last 2 shots how you hit them. So we'll go with this shotgun because it's high fire rate and 7-round capacity with 504 damage. It's pretty good. And also the grenades, you're gonna go with the one I had, which was the Giga grenade.
With every wasted second.
Let's see. Evacuate high value assets. No, we're gonna pick a different map, even though we're not really completing it. We're on extreme difficulty. Let's go to. Huh. Man, I really don't want to do this. I want like objectives. I don't want like this. Just stay there for 20 minutes. Shit. You know what? We'll do it. We'll do it.
Hellpods Prime. Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized.
Okay, sorry about that. My baby was crying. We have a newborn. Yeah, I'm a father. He was born June 25th. Anyways, he was crying, so I had to go change him. So if he does it again, I'll just put the mic on mute. But let's do this. Let's do increased. We'll do this one. I need all the help I can get. Also, since the update. Hey, yeah. Since the update, you get these little things. So these symbols right here, all the way up to this one, is to show you that these are dropped items. These are dropped support weapons. So the commando, you use the 4 shots, then you drop it. Leveler 1, drop it. Napalm, drop. Pick the other one, drop. So on and so forth. These ones are backpacks, so that to show you that they're backpack items. And then everything else is as is. Okay, I think he's gassy. So I'll have the microphone on pause. We'll get on with the game. And then I want you to pay attention for when you see those creatures, the ones that look like Slender Man mixed with Pyramid Head. Watch what I do to those guys with the secondary weapon and then what I do with the primary weapon. So...
Launch initiated.
Our enemy would turn this city into a conurbation of tyranny. Do not let them.
Chief supplementary teams are in reserve. Sending down equipment package. Deploying sentry. Deploying support weapon.
You have no idea what that means to me. Don't let go.
Chief reinforcements on the way.
Get some! Throwing grenade! Have a taste of democracy! Freedom forever!
Helldiver lost. Sending replacement.
Point me to the enemy.
Seek rapid response is on the way.
Pelican 1
Extraction
arriving at
request
coordinates.
confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Pelican 1 landing in progress. How about a nice cup of lemon tea?
Helldiver lost. Sending replacement.
Democracy has landed. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.